Oh. Oh. Holy cow, it's another COFOH Live and Undead. I'm your host, Daniel Crosier, and we are joined with the amazing, the astounding Dr. Bones and Tatiana Tata. Oh, but
You write something on my face?
oh, Dr. Bones and Tatiana Tata. How are you?
Fantastic! How are you, Dan?
Excellent. It's great to see you guys. Oh, Kyle, Adrian, I miss you guys.
We miss you too,
friend.
Super exciting. I mean, this is a cool little setup you got going on here.
I think you have a cooler setup. Did you guys just turned on a fog machine? Holy
Yes, we did.
Roll, baby.
man! I hope your smoke detectors don't go off.
They don't. I have tested this multiple times.
Okay.
You'll be able to see our faces again too. So
Nice. It's like, oh hey, it's 420 all over again. I love it.
well, you know, we had to celebrate all week long, right?
Right. It's yeah. I think 420 is kind of like a year-long celebration.
365. Yeah.
Yeah, at least. Especially for this last year, just dealing with the pandemic.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Truth.
Yeah. Did you guys get vaccinated and everything? Everything's good?
Yes. Got my second one.
I
Ooh.
got my second one last week, so yeah, all of that's shaping up nicely. So
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you guys are in good health. If you guys can, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Kyle, tell us about your background and how you got into performing.
Fuck. Okay. First, by the way. No.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So performing has always been in my blood. I was the oddball in the family where everybody else was science and math. I was like, yay, theater and film, and it just kind of stuck. But ultimately I began performing primarily because of this one, actually.
Oh.
I had done a little bit of dabbling before, but she gave me the opportunity to really actually come forth and present what we know as Dr. Bones today. She gave me my first opportunity, and so really it's her fault. So this monster is her fault.
Nice. Yeah, you blame it on Adrian. She's your mentor, and she's also the one that forced your hand.
Absolutely. You know, you said pentagram on the floor. I think it was a very similar, like, rite of passage scenario.
Nice. So some kind of weird virgin sacrifice thing, huh?
Can you still find virgins these days?
I don't think they exist. I think they are unknown.
Okay.
I think you're going to find more unicorns in nature.
Which I am down. Let's do that. Let's find the unicorns.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Anyway, wow, sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking around. It's like, who are those voices in my room? I don't know. Oh. Adrian, tell us a little bit about your background. I've interviewed you before on Cafe Crash, and give us a little update and how you came to work with Dr. Bones here.
Well, we both worked at the same venue, and I was producing this zombie show, and we kind of hooked up during that time, and honestly, we just clicked and became besties, and it just kind of has been that way ever since. Working, like, we have matching t-shirts.
We're twinning.
Like, come on.
So
But I mean, as far as performance, I mean, I've been doing it again like my whole life as well, and have always kind of just been really interested in bringing in my friends, bringing in like-minded individuals and people who enjoy similar odd, interesting, different,
unique.
Yeah, you know, because I mean, Halloween and horror are celebrated in October and Halloween time and whatever, and I'm always like, fuck that, this shit's weird.
Halloween's year round.
I was gonna say, talk about a holiday that's 365. Fuck 420. Halloween is where it's straight up.
So I think, like, you know, you just meet individuals. It's like, you know, at Dan, and you know, you meet people who you just click with and who you can work with, and that's kind of how we came to be. And we just instantly, like, we're like, all right,
boom,
let's do this thing.
I still remember the email that I got from her, and it was basically just asking if I wanted to do this show, and of course I wanted to do this show, but I'm like, I've literally done a go-go burlesque. That's it. And I'm like, what, but she could.
I could see.
I literally sent her, my response was something, oh.
But speaking of go-go, you know,
those are one of our well, it's actually a very risque number.
It is. It's super. It's a lot of entendre.
Yeah.
But no, it's my email back to her was basically like, yeah, so I have this really loose sort of kind of idea of a concept to the American Horror Story theme song.
Nice.
And I was like, great. So
yeah,
I owe you.
And you see where it's evolved. I'm sure we'll get to that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you've got you know, quite the cool little backdrop. I'm pretty envious. I don't have a smoke machine. I don't know if I want one, just because I'm an asthmatic, and sometimes that triggers me.
Yeah, I could imagine that would not be the best scenario.
But then again, you know, it's like you got to die for your art, right?
You know, to some degree, yes. I've been trying to maybe die a little bit less each time, the more I do it. But
right. I think that's called experience and maturity to some extent.
I mean, you used to paint yourself pink, Dan. So
that is true. That is very true. I remember, you know, like this from when you were. Was this? This wasn't with OFM. This was something else, right?
Stevens in the Sky.
Is it?
At the Oriental, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, oh, that's right. That photo's from Norman Dillon too. He was. I remember he was in the audience that night. But here's some more of the funner stuff that you guys are doing. Was this part of the zombie show that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh,
nice.
That number, Brick House. That was a fun number. That was a fun show. That in all of its incarnations, that show was a ton of fun.
Yeah, Kyle, you look like Rob Zombie in that one. It was.
Well, that was the goal at the time. I was very much trying to be like a young Rob Zombie, with dreadlocks and everything, and so we went and saw Rob Zombie that year.
Yeah.
We drove like 4.5 hours to some place like right off the Utah border.
Wow.
To see him headline this music festival. And while we had been walking around, people were actually asking her like what it was like to hang out with Rob, because people were mistaking me for him. So I was like, hey, tried to use that to get us upgraded to VIP. It did not work, but I tried.
Hey, you gave it the college try.
I did. I'm sorry. This is going to bother me, so I'm just going to adjust that slightly.
Okay.
That was really fun.
That was a great time. And then we drove all the way back the same night because I had to work the next morning.
Jeez, that's intense. Wow, that is dedication.
We were going to see Rob Zombie, damn it.
Of course, I've got to note that you guys are dressed alike. I love how you coordinate your uniforms.
Oh, we just know. We didn't even have to text each other. Just telepathically, we knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the boys. So, the boys.
The boys. Nice. Yeah, it's the Fantastic Four on your shirts. I love. Which one's the thing?
Which one's the thing?
Yeah. Fantastic Four, the thing.
Oh, the thing.
The Human Torch.
Right. So I have to admit, I don't know. I know them, but I don't know them. I'm actually not a big superhero movie guy. So.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. I'll just poke the fun and you guys just sling it right back at me.
Totally. I mean, I do remember Chris Evans in a towel. So
that's probably the best piece of that entire 2-film series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember that moment, and that was as a young budding gay man, that was a very important moment for me.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's terrible. I'm so bad. But I think it was, I think Kyle, you're right. Because of that scene, he got the Captain America job and became America's ass.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Hey, we're getting some comments coming in. So we got some friends chiming in. Steven says hi.
Hi, Steven. Boo.
Melissa May says hi, Tatiana and Bones.
Oh, hi,
Polka Dotty. Love you. Glad that you're watching. That's cool. Wow.
Yeah. And then Dave, I think it's a riff on Queen, Dan. Ha ha ha. Not sure which one that is. But Dave's usually way ahead of me.
I know. Dave's usually ahead of, yeah.
Yeah, he's usually a little bit quicker than this guy. So, getting back to some of these performances, Adrian, what was it about Kyle that really made you want to work with him? Was it like his skill set or just kind of his overall, personality and demeanor?
It certainly wasn't my skill set at that point, I'm going to say.
That came later.
Okay. Oh my God. Well, I think honestly, it was his ideas, his drive, and really that he just wanted to get out there and do the damn thing. He had a lot of really cool ideas that I clearly had not thought of. He also brought another level of creativity and I feel like a look to the show that perhaps I had not seen before either, because I was kind of rolling with the whole thing and just kind of I definitely never throw anything together, but I feel like he helped me come up with a better streamline vision, kind of beginning and ending, if you will.
Yeah.
And just his tenacity and his drive, really, and the fact that he was ready to just be fucked up and get fucked up and just go down that, and all the different sort of levels of the zombie show that we've done. There's been so many reincarnations of it that I feel like he's really helped the
well, it's and
what do you
I
know what I mean?
it's a good thing that the lights in here are changing because I feel like you guys should be able to see my blush from there. Because that's some of the sweetest stuff ever.
Well, I never also
That's nice.
felt like, I mean, I think the cast always got it and was excited about it. But I think when Kyle got on board, we took it to a whole nother level, and it was a different understanding of like zombie culture and burlesque and that sort of vibe.
Burlesque. Okay, that's a great term.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because off of that, I think you're absolutely right. I think what we did is we started to honor the horror aspect of the performance a lot more. It wasn't it not that it was before, but it got farther away from the cute glitter lip zombie. And it definitely became more the like skin peel and eat and like watching really gross things happen on stage and play with audience expectations the way that horror does, in the sense of like you're titillated, and what scares you more is the fact that this is actually titillating you. Because this shouldn't. By all intents and purposes, this should not be.
With comedy included.
With comedy included.
Right.
You always have to have a break.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
typical burlesque is more, kind of cheesecake, tongue in cheek, straight out flamboyance, but also a lot of, humor. That's not just subtext.
Absolutely.
But with your approach, I mean, it definitely plays out like this reminds me of George Romero's The Crazies. If you did a music video to it.
We did. So that was fun. That was something we did, I think, the third year that we were working together on that show. And we did actually a Rob Zombie music video that spliced in clips from old zombie films. And we wanted to do a whole like trivia thing where if people could name the 6 zombie films that we actually pulled the clips from, nobody could ever do that. But it's but it was super fun. So that was spliced in with us doing this Rob Zombie music video, and then we would actually start the performance on stage. Like we would be laying on stage already dead, and then come to life afterwards and do this very intense perfect circle routine. And the idea was that we were like the scientists that just got turned and are just reanimating for the first time. So hence the hazmat suits and all of that stuff. Plus that image is iconic. I think really just any kind of virus scare, whether that's zombie, that's actual virus scare, any of that. It's such an iconic image to have that hazmat suit and then something like a gas mask or something along those lines. It's a very I mean, I think people get distraught when they see that because that's a bad image.
Yeah. It's got a lot of resonance, especially today, dealing with the contemporary, pandemic. And you did see people working in hazmat suits, when having to, pull out, unfortunately, dead bodies out of people's houses, dying from COVID and things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love this one. Good God, this is so fun. What is this one from?
That was so we work with Scott Happel, Hagbar Chalene, and the Oriental Theater, and now HQ Live. But this was from Carnaval de Sensual, I think 2 years ago.
Was this?
Nice.
This would have been from 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah. And he really wanted to do an Alice Cooper I Love the Dead number, and Tots and I were asked to kind of put it together, and it ended with him getting decapitated on stage, and so we decided to do it with his severed head.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Just appropriate.
Oh my God. So when you're putting one of these performances together, I mean, you've got multiple people on stage with you. is it really hard to kind of coordinate space and what you're doing and costuming because it's all on like a shoestring no budget.
Right.
Less than shoestring most of the time. I would say that, I mean, Adrian has so much group choreography experience. And I was a quick learn under her and some of the others. That, I think we've been really lucky that for the most part, we actually haven't had too much trouble with people working really well and flexibly to make it all happen. So I think, and that one I don't recall there being any major roadblocks.
That one was, I feel like pretty simple.
Yeah.
Especially once we got that gurney.
Oh yeah.
And we could choreograph with the gurney.
I actually
we had a gurney.
I spent half of the routine covered in a sheet on the gurney, as dead body being like wheeled around stage and stuff like that. Fun. Again, like you do, Saturday night. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap on the gurney. Let me know if anything's going down. Why am I so nauseous?
It was fun. That was an easy group. I feel like majority of the time when we do a big group extravaganza, it's typically pretty easy because everyone we work with are so professional and they're just like ready to go and ready to do the damn thing. So I never feel like
I don't think
it's a struggle unless we're like not.
If we're not on the same page, that's about the only time.
Yeah.
But that very rarely happens. It's I mean, I'm thinking back on it. I think everybody knows that if we're presenting a group choreo with them, like it's almost like our reputation precedes us. Like people just know it's going to be intense. It's going to be something. It's I say something because it could be any number of things. So
right.
But I think they're just ready and they're ready to work.
And we just like to get shit done.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Like,
good.
I'm ready to work. You better be ready to work. Like, let's go. This is the thing. So, I mean, it's not a whole lot of like, I don't know.
We don't fluff about much.
We're definitely all about work time when it comes down to it. So I don't know. I feel like we're pretty consistent, on point. I don't feel like we've had many problems as far as that.
I think one of the hardest ones that we did was Dead Girl Superstar, which was a Rob Zombie number, and it was a go-go number, but that one was just so fast. It's not even that the dance was necessarily hard, it's a fast song.
Yeah.
And so hard to keep up that go-go energy for like 2.5 minutes when literally you come out of the gate running and you're just running through the whole thing. So that one's a bit of a cardio blast. But
what kind of training do you have to do to like maintain something like that on stage?
Lots of cardio. Cardio is about the best training that you can do for any of that. So
dance, anything that keeps your heart rate up, my friend.
Yeah. Oh man.
Also, adrenaline at some point does kick in because at some point you're just like, "Fuck it, I'm here. I'm gonna do the thing."
Yeah.
Takes over for sure.
And then it's done, and you're like, "Why am I panting so hard? I'm acting like I've worked really hard."
And then you sleep for 2 days.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. Basically, Muppet superpowers activate.
Inflatable arm people.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We've got some more comments coming in.
Oh.
Boy.
Ella's sending some love.
Hi, honey. I'm so happy you're here. Mwah, mwah.
She was saying Bones is one of the most humble and amazing performers ever.
Oh, stop it. I'll take you away. Oh,
that's sweet.
Yeah, we can see you blushing, buddy.
No, it's the lights. They changed to a more rosy hue.
Okay. Dave was actually talking about the shirts that they're reminiscent to the Bohemian Rhapsody video. So that reference completely went over my head. I don't know why, but I'm not on top of it, clearly.
Dave, I got you. I was following you, so I knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Azazel says, "What's picking?" So he's one of the horror clowns, I think, in the Midwest.
Nice.
Yeah, so we get all kinds of fun folk, popping in here.
Excited that you guys are here and listening to our "Hey, Kimmy."
All kinds of sexy up in here.
Oh my God, all over.
I'm not gonna.
So, yeah, you got a bunch of friends, chiming in. What? Yeah, before we went live, you mentioned that neither of you have really been doing a lot of performing in person, online, during the pandemic. With what little you have done, can you comment on it? What that experience has been like?
I mean, I have not done anything virtually. I did one show in October at the Oriental,
Cool.
Carnival, which was amazing, fun, and awesome. It was weird, with audience. It was still a blast because it was the Oriental, and I always have the best time when I'm there. And then just about a month ago, we did a show at HQ.
Oh, cool.
Which was also a blast. It's it's just this process. It's weird. It's strange being like away from your people and not quite having the same interaction, if you will, and ability to go out and just like scream for your friends, that kind of thing. You kind of have to stay backstage, and it's it feels pretty sterile, honestly. Like it's
a great way to put it,
it's different, and clearly, like, I'll do whatever I have to do to follow the rules and everything like that. But I sort of feel like the time was really good for me. The break was really good for me. And I'm personally not in a giant rush to get back to the way that it was and to the grind, because I felt like I grinded for a really long time, and honestly, I needed the break. And it helped me to focus on some other things. But anyways,
cool.
To go back to what you were saying, like, it's been a blast to be around my friends again and everything.
Yeah.
Have that opportunity to go out on stage and like have my 3 minutes, 4 minutes, to do my thing and be like, oh my gosh, there's people out there. Kind of. But it's awesome.
As out there as they can be.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I just think it's different, and we'll keep doing what we're doing, and I don't know. I mean,
cool.
I'm here for it. We'll take it as it comes, and I'll take shows as I sort of feel like I'm ready for. And again, I'm not rushing things, so it's all good. Yeah.
That's a good approach to have, with something like this. I think the last event that Elise and I were at was actually at your Dolly Parton show at the Oriental. I think that was January of 2020. Yeah. So it's been a while.
I know. Gosh.
It's so I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to seeing live events. I'm vaccinated too, so is Elise, and I think our first outing will be next Friday. We're going to the Trinidad Comedy Festival.
Nice. That should be super fun.
Yeah. So I'll be doing more interviews down there, and then seeing Ben Roy live. But I wanted to get back to some more, the fun things about like your live shows. it's moving visual arts. Look at these costumes and everything. And you guys are having to make your own costumes and all that too.
Mhm. So that's actually the Rob Zombie Go-Go number.
Oh, isn't it? Nice.
Superstar. So those are the costumes from that one. They're super fun. Those are so much fun to play with. But I'm sorry, you were talking about all of this stuff. I mean, basically the shoestring budget of performance, whether it's live or virtual or whatever it happens to be, it's a lot more than people actually think. It's not a terribly cheap hobby or profession, depending on what side you fall on.
Right.
So I think those costumes in that picture, I mean, that had to have been at least a couple $100 to do all of those. Just because the fringy sleeves were all custom as I could make them.
Well, they were.
But they were custom made, and you had to buy all the fabric for that, and then everybody
measure everyone's arms,
do all of that, and then we tried to match costumes as much as possible, so everybody had to purchase the same costume or something very close to. And then go-go boots, which you didn't see in the photo, but we all had matching go-go boots as well, and so that stuff adds up. Even when you're trying to do it minimally, it does really quickly add up. So, and it's no different doing a virtual performance. In some ways, it's actually probably more expensive because the camera can see things that somebody in a live audience may not.
Okay.
So the camera is a much more cruel judge when it comes to that. Why do you think I like fog in my studio, Dan?
That evil camera, it's the little red light it's that burning amber, lonely in the dark, watching your every move.
And fog is like on the lens, it just
I love fog.
That's good. It's the great equalizer. It's a good tool to use, most definitely. There's some fun behind the scenes shots too. It looks like you guys are just exhausted from a performance in this.
I think that was a 2-show night, and that was between. And I think we were done at that point. I think both of us were just kind of like, no. We're done.
And you guys have done like film festival performances too. It's always interesting to see how accessible live performance is in different different events. So is this Mile High Horror Film Fest?
That is. We got to perform our House of a Thousand Corpses number before House of a Thousand Corpses. And that's where we also got to meet Sid Haig.
Oh!
The late great Sid Haig, which so I remember we just finished and I looked up and he was standing right in front of me and I was just like, I also met Keno, which was a big feather in my cap. So he was a lot shorter than I thought he was going to be. For Jason Voorhees, I was like, Kane, you're shorter than I am. So, but that was a super fun festival. That was Alamo. That was just one location.
Littleton.
Right. They luckily Mile High Horror Film Fest. They're back. I think they're doing their event this year too. I'm not sure if they're virtual or if they're going to be in person yet, but here's hoping.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I thought it was going to be at the Westminster location.
Oh, right.
That would have been so cool.
I know.
That's like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, it's like right around the corner.
It's not far from us at all when they open that location.
Yeah, I think they're at the Littleton location, right?
Okay. Yeah, probably. So
that
was super fun.
We were running back to get off stage because
they had revealed it was a burlesque number and they were cool with it.
And Sid was like, "Yeah!" When I ran back, he like high-fived me.
Wow.
I was like, Hi.
I didn't get that response.
I got a high five.
But
Sweet.
But you know.
but you know what?
Sid's a sweet guy.
Not taking. So
Well, it was.
not that would have changed anything, but
It was a blast.
Oh no, it was a great time. That was.
But it
super
was
fun.
the only time like I was like, oh my god, it's him.
I-
And then I
it was-
kept going because
and
they
then-
were going to start the movie in like 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
was like, wait,
Oh.
what? Hi.
It was very quick hi bye.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
That's so cool. Sid was a sweet guy. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate of his passing, but he leaves behind an amazing film legacy.
Oh, and it goes back so far.
Right.
Yeah.
50s and 60s. I mean, if people don't realize, like, he was in some of those bad, like, 50s sci-fi, the creeping terror or whatever. I don't think that was him. But anyway, those kind of things. And so it's just fun when you discover that, especially by accident, when you don't realize that somebody is in it, and you're like, oh, Sid Haig is in this film. Yay!
Right. I remember seeing him in, I think the first time I saw him was the Big Birdcage with oh shoot. I am drawing a blank.
Oh.
Jackie Brown. Yeah. Who plays Jackie Brown? God damn it. I'm really doing bad tonight.
Oh boy, yeah, no, I'm not doing good either. Adrian, well,
Wait, what?
this is why we have the Googles.
Yeah. So Dave will probably get to it way quicker than us, I'm sure. God, I can't believe I'm going.
Pam,
Yeah, but
it was Pam Grier and Sid Haig.
Pam Grier. That's right.
Well, what was the movie? I don't know.
The Big
Help
Bird.
us. Oh, the
the
Big Bird
big
Cage.
bird cage.
That is actually the film title.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I don't know this one. I have to admit, I don't know this one, but now I want to know.
I think it's an old Roger Corman production. He did a series of women in cages type movies, and this was so
I know
I
what you're talking about
Now
now.
I know
Yep,
what you're talking about.
yeah.
See them love women in cages.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty much. Yeah, we just got a bunch of Kimmy just yelled out, Pam. Colorado Festival of Horror just yelled at me, Pam Grier, you idiot.
Sorry, guys.
Dave just yelled at me, Pam Grier. God, I am just having brain farts today. Oh, jeez.
Because I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, no.
It
I don't
is.
want to get called out.
It is a little intimidating knowing that people that we know are watching us and listening to us right now. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, they're like the camera. They sit in judgment of us. Ah.
do I need more fog? Like, no.
Yeah, if you guys want, you can to kind of hide your presence. You know, yeah, add a little bit more fog, I suppose.
Maybe towards the end. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So speaking of like horror films and stuff, obviously you guys are fans of Rob Zombie and also the zombie genre. But you know, what did you grow up really loving and really enjoying?
You go first.
Okay, so I was told by my husband that I needed to tell this story because I told him the other day. And so this guy right here, Mr. Michael Myers, was, yes, left boob, was my, I watched the original Halloween when I was 10 and I wasn't supposed to, which I think most of us did with something at some point. And it scared the living shit out of me. It was the scariest thing I had ever seen. And so it was one of those that it left a mark, and Michael Myers definitely left a mark. And it left a mark to the point where there used to be a website, and this was when I was, I must have been like 12, 13, 14, something around there. Internet is still early enough that if people are putting their own websites up, like this is a labor of love. Somebody is doing this out of the geekiness of their heart. And there was a website called HalloweenMovies.com, and it literally did everything. It was all the trailers, it was all the mythology behind Michael Myers, including the Thorn with Paul Rudd and Donald Pleasance and all of them in Halloween 6. Like, it goes into the whole backstory of the mythos of Michael Myers.
Nice.
And the website was getting prepped because at that point, Halloween Resurrection was getting ready to come out. So, like, the big thing was they were prepping for the release of that travesty. And but I remember I would go to this website constantly because I wanted to find out, like, is there something I don't know about Michael Myers? Have they added more stuff? And so I was definitely obsessed with the idea of horror, and especially the slasher genre at that point. And in more recent years, this guy, Mr. Voorhees, has become my go-to. I feel like he's a little more metal, whereas Michael's a little more classical. So, yeah, and so it was definitely because of my ears.
That's cool. How about you, Adrian?
The first, I feel like the first, I'm trying to remember the order because I don't want to get my timeline wrong, but I probably will anyways. It doesn't matter. I saw Poltergeist as my first film.
That's a good one. That's awesome.
And I honestly was obsessed the second I saw it. I wasn't freaked out at all. I was just like more interested in like, is this real? Does this really happen? And like the spirits and the ghosts and the clairvoyance and all that kind of thing. And then my mom took me, and the dude she was dating at the time took me to see Tremors in the theater.
Sweet. That's so fun.
I freaked the fuck out at Tremors.
Okay.
It had me hysterically crying in the movie theater, where like somebody came over and was like, "Do you need to take her out?" Like, my mom's like, "No, she's fine." And like, no, we stayed. I watched the Tremors, and
I get it. They freaked me the fuck out too. Like, I totally understand.
I was like, "What is this?"
Giant sandworms that eat you.
Yeah. And then following that, and this timeline is not right, but these are the first three I remember: is Poltergeist, Tremors, and Alien.
Funny enough,
Alien, boom, again, obsessed, totally into it. I was like, what? I need to know more about this. What is happening? I need to break this down. This is cool. I was like so into it. But Tremors, of all things, scared the shit out of me and made me cry because I'm like, this thing is going to come up and just eat me from the ground. Whereas these other things, I was like, well, I don't know, maybe kind of, sort of.
You can probably see them coming.
Right.
Like,
fun fact, Aliens was one of my first 5. So I can't remember specifically where, but I know it was one of the first 5. But Aliens and Alien, those are great fucking films.
That's awesome. Adrian, don't feel bad. I've got a worse story for you. The first films that my parents took me to the theaters to go see was Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. I remember those specifically because at the tomb scene where you open the tomb at Raiders and there's all these snakes in the snake pit, I screamed, and I remember getting yelled at by everybody in the theater and everything. And then at E.T., where Elliot and E.T. meet in the cornfield, I screamed and I hid underneath the seat. And I think that's when my parents said, yeah, we really shouldn't take our kid to go to any more of these.
That was my first haunted house too that my mom took me and my best friend to. We got in. It was like this Minnesota State Fair, and they have this like whatever, this classic, amazing haunted house. But I begged her to take us. And then halfway through, me and my friend are both bawling, crying. And the guy's like, do you need to take him out? And I'm like, no, we're not going. Keep going. I was like this kid.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, keep going. It doesn't matter. My tears don't matter.
My tears
My mom like, yeah. So I just pushed through that.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh.
But I see the end of it.
Well, of course you do. It always gets better the deeper and darker and farther it goes. So,
yeah.
I think I started crying in the queue line because they have those guys out there scaring you already, and I was like, well, this is over.
Running around with the chainsaw or something.
Yeah.
Or demonic clowns or something.
Haunted house asking if he needed to leave.
Yeah.
So I was the guy actually scaring.
And that's interesting because that opens you up to so much of what you already do today. Getting through a lot of those early sensations and probably what exhilarated you back then still exhilarates you now.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
I think it's been interesting because this last year, it's kind of been almost a return to that. It's almost been going back to finding the roots and like where all of this actually comes from. Because
right.
Personally, I feel like horror has kind of lost its way recently. I feel like it's getting. It's just my personal opinion. I know that they vary, and horror is such a personal experience that I don't want to necessarily tell anybody how to love their horror. But it's been a fun process to kind of go back and see what my definition of horror is. And so how does that then translate into performance or no matter what the medium is. So that's been really fun to kind of go back and delve back into those places to figure out what it actually means at the very core of it.
Yeah, recently I've been interviewing a number of musicians in heavy metal and industrial music, and talking to them about the intersection of horror and music, and this I can put to you guys too. Like one of the things with like stage performance is the bravacity, the grandiose, I tend to reference like the grand guignol. And I think, like burlesque, the burlesque that you guys perform, kind of fits into that. There's, with Grand Guignol, it's more melodrama, but you still have like, kind of this absurdist violence that goes up on stage and stuff. But with you guys, you're the choreography, the performances, the dancing, the movements. I mean, it's delightful and over the top, but it also lends itself, I think, to a little bit of melodrama as well as the humor to it.
Absolutely, and if you think about it, it's just an evolution of performance.
Yeah.
At the time of Goal, like what they were doing, despite it being melodramatic and all of that, was shocking and it was thrilling. People were melting people's faces off on stage with acid and doing shit like that. And so, but that was the style then, and so what we're doing is we're reflecting the style now.
Right.
But at the same time, it is very much Grand Guignol. I mean, we've talked about that so many times over the years. How we're kind of doing an updated interpretation, I would say, of Grand Guignol. And what does that look like today?
Right.
And today's standards are very different. Audiences have a very different expectation for especially horror. audiences have a very different expectation for the gore, the horror, the performance. Like, it's you gotta stay on top of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of media out there. I think horror's probably one of, if not the most accessible genre. You know, you see that with literature, with comics, with video games, with every facet of life. You know, you don't really, you know, people keep saying it's like, well, it's such a, you know, kind of a subgenre of sorts, and it's like, yeah, when it comes to film, you've got that's you know, grossing world box office that competes with the superhero genres, you know, which also used to be a B movie genre.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, it's anybody who says that horror is a secondary or whatever genre clearly has never actually seen a horror film. Like,
Right.
It's one of those that it is very much. I think you said it great, actually, Dan. I think it's the most accessible.
Yeah.
Because everybody has their own interpretation of horror. So with that, you have literally infinite possibilities of what could be.
Yeah, you know, for me these days, I tend to gravitate towards, you know, like horror comedies. So, you know, things like I just got done watching The Watch with Ben Stiller, which you wouldn't really think of it, but I mean, it's kind of a sci-fi comedy with horror elements to it. And of course, that kind of harkens back to something like Joe Dante's Gremlins, you know, American Werewolf in London. God, there's another one that I just watched on Shudder with Elise, and God, it was so good. I can't remember the title, but it essentially is two writers locked up in a lodge, a vacation lodge, together because it's, you know, snowing outside, and they're writing their own scary stories and acting them out in front of each other. It's freaking hilarious.
Awesome.
Huh.
But man, I'm terrible with names, as we've already established.
I think I know. Is it scary enough? Are you scared yet? Something along those lines. I didn't
scare me.
I think I know.
Scare me. That's what scare me.
That's it. Are you afraid of the dark? I don't know.
Well, and now there's all
I am.
into horror too.
Absolutely.
Like, even if they're comedy horror, like they're getting into more of these like comedy horror movies.
Well, and then it's like Elijah Wood and that production company and stuff like that, where their whole goal is horror production.
That was
Oh yeah. No, I love
well,
that.
and you guys got to meet Elijah too at one of your outings at, like, was it the Stanley Film Fest or something?
Yep, the Stanley Horror Film Festival. We went up and did a small version of the zombie show up there, and we hung out with Elijah that night. He was very intrigued and interested in what we were doing, and
I was not allowed to attend. The Stanley actually said no, guys. So
well,
that's at the time. At that time, we've got a great relationship with the Stanley now.
Yeah.
Good.
No, that was fun. See, you guys raved about that.
It was cool. He was a really great. He and his crew were awesome, and he hung out with us all night long. And there were other big name people there, and directors and producers and stuff like that. And he was like, "No, I want to hang out with the burlesque performers."
Because you guys are more interesting.
I mean, we just had a really good time and like talked horror and stuff, and you know, it was just a good time, you know.
Nice.
But it was because, like, you know, you look out and you're like, oh, I have no idea who any of you are, and then all of a sudden there's
Elijah.
with his glasses, and I'm thinking like, what? It was a
That's
cool,
so cool.
it was a cool experience, and I was really grateful to be able to bring a little bit of that up there and
Nice.
be a part of that. So yeah.
That's cool. Anything to lighten up an event or anybody's day, really. That's such a wonderful thing to do, is share your art. We got a bunch more comments that just came in. For Kevin, his movie at an early age was Blood Feast.
Oh, honey, you can outrun him.
And then Ella's was the Thriller video for Michael Jackson, I'd imagine.
Yeah, iconic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then for Janisa, it was Hellraiser.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
and that is a pinhead right there.
So,
Yep, that's right, Pinhead. I think that's the Michael or the Brian May of the as far as the Queen pose is going. I think that's his role.
yes.
Amber said that you are definitely my spirit animal, Adrian.
Oh, thanks, Amber. Love you.
Kevin was curious if there's going to be a Grand
Out there,
American
Kevin.
Burlesque Festival.
Kevin, that has been our best kept secret for years.
Well,
I would love, yes, there will at some point. Okay, so going back to Grand Guignol, because now I have to
Yes.
explain this. A long time ago, one of the original ideas was to actually do a burlesque specific festival.
Yeah.
Bringing in burlesque performers from hopefully around the world would have been awesome to do this festival, because there are actually a lot of us out there.
yeah.
There are a lot of burlesque performers who really gravitate towards the dark and the horror and all of that. And so we wanted to do a festival in the style of like a Grand Guignol deal, and I wanted to call it the Grand American Burlesque Festival.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now that it's out there, somebody's gonna fucking steal it. And no, I'm convinced that Hollywood has me tapped, because I come up with an idea, then literally within a year it's coming out on video. So I'm just like,
Well, we just need to get to work.
Right.
Yeah. Well. Yes. Every now and then you hit the zeitgeist, right?
He is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just set wheels in motion that I hope he's prepared for.
Well, let me know. I think that would be something that COFOH would love to get behind at some point. I think that would be a really fun idea. I already got my wheels spinning. It's slow because it's cobwebs, and the little hamster that lives in my head, he's on life support.
I love you, Dan. Sorry.
I agree, Dan. It's a very slow. I've been talking about this particular festival for I think 6 years.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
All right.
So,
well, you're not doing anything right now, so get it going.
Performance-wise, no. Anyway, no, we could actually. I know. I'm savvy.
Kimmy is saying trademark it. Ella seconds that. Do a GoFundMe to trademark it.
Well, now I'm gonna have to do all of this. So
I know they're late. Dude, these people in the comment section, they're laying the groundwork for you. Pretty soon you're going to have a Trello already started with your action items itemized for you. Oh, and a calendar.
Somebody take this on and then put my name at the top. I am totally fine with that.
No.
We just call you the creative director.
Right, absolutely. Artistic
You're bringing.
director.
You said Trello, and you're bringing me back to our old projects, Dan.
Right.
Trello.
Yeah, on Trello, and then now I pretty much am addicted to Dropbox. Alex sends hearts.
Hi, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, Amber says all this would be amazing, and Janisa said she would donate to that. So that's cool.
New project. Here we go.
What's that? Oh, did I do a little freeze frame over there for you?
Oh, I'm just kind of staring at the train barreling down the tracks now, but it's fine.
Yeah.
This has been a topic.
We have talked about it. I think if we were to do something like this, one thing that I would really like to do is marry live performance in the multimedia, because I took very much to the digital realm this last year. I always wanted to be a filmmaker, and so this was a very natural step for me to actually kind of go back to that again, going back to the core and roots of everything. And so I think if we were to do a festival of this nature, there would have to be a section for film and full performance.
Yeah.
Just because I also feel like in a horror scenario, that's really what it boils down to is film.
Yeah.
So
probably team up with Mile High Horror Film Fest. It's
or that get some bigwigs involved or something along those lines.
That would be a freaking dream come true.
It would be.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So guys, just to wrap up, where can people follow you? We've got streaming down below your Instagram pages. Let's see. I'm waiting for the choo-choo train to come around. So, Tatiana, you're at Tatiana Tata, and then Lestrange Menagerie, and of course, Dr. Bones, you're at the Dancing Mantis.
Yeah. If you've ever seen me do hip hop, you understand. I look like a praying mantis doing hip hop. It's hysterical. So that's where that comes.
Nice. At the end of each dance, do you eat the head of your mate?
Not always. That's for special occasions. Children's birthday parties.
Nice, excellent. Well, you keep it festive.
Keep it festive. Keep them guessing.
Well, guys, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me and being so generous, and kind of updating us on all the cool things that you guys are involved in. I can't wait to see you again out in the really real world before times.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be fantastic. And thank you for having us, Dan. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Sorry that I didn't hear it on.
It's my pleasure. Nice, the universal signs of love. Or is that sacrifice?
Yes.
Well, over here.
You got to give a little to get a little.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very much.
Oh, nice. Well, thanks again, guys. Hang around for just a minute. And thanks again to Hellfire Entertainment for carrying us. Meet Me Cafe. Whenever you need to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And, of course, the ever immortal Groovy TV. And then to my sponsors, Alien Donut Films. Bill and Angela, thanks so much for your support. My producers, Stefan Santa Cruz and Amanda Armstrong, and everybody that tuned in tonight. Thanks so much. Take care of each other. Look out for each other. And always remember, we love you. Have a good night.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.